Today we're going to be talking about the macro environments, guys, and what's going to be taking place, all these events that will take place in the near future and beyond that, guys. So listen very carefully, but before we do, watch this over, sweetheart. Canada to launch a digital ID, wait a minute, together with World Economic Forum. The initiative removes the need for physical passports and can also be used as a combined that thing, right, that passport, and will fit well with the central bank digital currency and social credit score narrative, right? All this stuff. Guys, it's not even a narrative or agenda. You know what it is? These people, it's actually going to take place. I don't see nobody stopping it, right? Is it too late, really, at this point in time, for the course of this timeline that we are on right now to change? Maybe, maybe not, guys. Comment down below on what do you believe will take place. But listen to this. All for your safety and well-being, of course, right? Exactly. But it does, guys, that's just an excuse, right? Privacy removed for what? In exchange for your safety. There always has to be an equivalent exchange, guys, always. With help from the World Economic Forum, Canada to launch federal digital ID program. So we're talking about Canada, guys, right next to where? Basically the United States, guys. It's so close that if Canada goes on with it, guess what's going to happen next, right? I believe America is the last domino to fall. It's going to be the biggest. It has to be the reason being, I believe, why the United States has to be the last domino is because of this. There are too many people, right, in America that have already woken up, guys, to what we see going on today. And these people will not allow it, right, to happen, maybe. Unless this is what I believe. So basically, the surrounding nations, right, in this earth are going to fall first. It's going to trickle, guys, down to what? The final piece of the puzzle, which is America, United States, right? North America. This is how they are going to plot the fall of this current order. First of all, they need a problem. Then, what happens to the people's reaction, right? We're going to be in a state of it's basically physical warfare and psychological warfare at the same time, guys, right? Simultaneously going to take place at the same time. And that's when the people, right, we the people beg and plead for a solution. And that is when they bring it up, guys. They 100% will not do it beforehand because people are just going to fight back. They will basically do it in a time where we are going to be sensitive. There you go, guys. That's at this point in time, we might as well expose everything, right? I've been seeing on Twitter everyone just going crazy, guys. Everyone has been exposing everyone left and right. This is, I don't know, it's getting pretty crazy out here. But banks now working with governments to prepare for CBDCs. Almost all are now promoting personal carbon trackers. Wow, guys. When your government issued carbon allowance runs out, this could be used to restrict your purchases and movements. Wow. This is absolutely crazy, right? So this is why we must prepare, guys, of the future. A lot of people do believe that CBDCs and all of these things, right, are going to be used for a negative impact. It's going to be used for a negative force, right? But I don't believe that, guys. I believe the future of humanity itself is going to be a much better place than it is currently, right? Of course it has to be. Like, look what's happening throughout the world, guys. I believe everything should calm down after the collapse, right? When they bring on the solution. It's what they're working on right here. So a lot is happening, guys. Again, right? Adoption, innovation, all this new tech is popping up out of nowhere. What started it all, guys, right? Bitcoin did. But they basically used Bitcoin as a lure, right? As a bait. And look where we're at right now. Even if Bitcoin wasn't here, some other coin would have popped up in its place instead. Now, it correlates to this, so you guys listen very carefully. I'm going to speed it up as we see right here. All roads lead to this right there, okay? Again, the conclusion, we know.
The United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization, and globalization is the standardization of all systems. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. The principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism. And this is how it's implemented on the ground, is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to cut out the actual individual, your voter, and instead to take that to a level where we literally cannot penetrate. This is a corporatocracy. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world while we are moving towards the end game. We are not there. And this is the opportunity that all of us have now to stand up, to speak out. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. And I do believe that we will win.
We have already won, guys. I believe that we are free and we will always be free, right? One more thing over there. Remember that Twitter confuses the AI, right? Unless technology just keeps getting better, and that's where it seems like this world is heading towards. Gold Telegraph is out. Breaking news: the Chinese yuan has moved ahead of the Australian, Canadian, and Swiss currencies to become the 5th most traded currency in the world. Wait, what? Note: BRICS countries are working on establishing a new reserve currency. Wow. So this is what we guys, we talked about this so many times before that America is literally what's happening with America, United States. Hello. That's when they come into the play, right when the collapse hits, guys. They bring on the final card, the Joker card, right? They bring it on, guys, where it's all chaotic at the same time. The Joker pops up out of nowhere, and then the solution is on board. And then that's where they leapfrog, right? So let's say America is in like close to last place right now, and China's ahead, all these other nations and countries are ahead. What happens? Boom. It's over, right? America gets back its lead, basically. Or it's going to be a level playing field for all. Now, watch your Guru Sweetout. Let's talk about quickly, guys, about the macro environments, because what's happening? And it seems like we were right. Japan announces a 490 billion stimulus package to help fight inflation. 13, by the way, as well. But wait a minute. Again, they are basically printing, right? Devaluing their yen, and it's supposedly going to help inflation. But wait a minute. We talked about how the government has to intervene because the system will collapse. So that's what I believe. These things will start popping up out of nowhere, guys, right? Because look what's happening in the UK, right? All these places throughout the world, people are starting to wake up because of the high crisis, cost of living, right? That's when the government start intervening slowly, guys, right? To make people's emotions get eased once again, right? So that's what I believe will take place, guys. Will the Fed pivot, right? Because is this going to be a trickle effect, guys? We talked about how the Fed needs to pivot soon. What is going on in Japan? CPI comes in hottest since 1989. Bank of Japan unveils even more quantitative easing to prevent Japanese government bond markets from breaking, sending yen tumbling days after Bank of Japan spent $50 billion to prop yen up again. Again, it's all there, guys. It is all there, right? It's all in front of our faces that the system is basically collapsing as we speak, right? We're not making any of this stuff up, guys. We are literally not making any of this stuff up. It's a crystal ball for what's going to happen in the rest of the world. Exactly. It's like a domino effect, a trickle effect. United States is the last piece to fall, guys. We're not making any of this stuff up. No, we're not. The Fed needs to pivot to delay it longer, and that's what I believe. The system collapses in 24, 25, around that area, guys. And we know what time frame specifically. Autumn. Justin, the Bank of Japan sticks to ultra low rates, the only major economy in the world keeping borrowing costs below zero. Wow, guys, actually crazy, right? Again, everything's flipped on its head. Nothing makes sense anymore. These people know that they don't know what they're doing, right? At the end of the day, they do know what they're doing because they want to collapse the system, and this is how they will do it. But I believe it needs to even get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, guys, until the collapse. It needs to even get worse than this. It's not even bad right now, right? Imagine the collapse. We're talking about a collapse, guys. We can't comprehend it. That's how bad it's going to be. This right here, guys. XRP, Japan. Remember, XRP is everywhere, right? So don't worry. When the solution pops up, We will all be fine.
XRP! XRP!
There we go. There we go, guys. XRP is what worldwide we're talking about, right? People know, guys. Stealth is sweet owl. Breaking, here it is. Per Fox Gasparino, BlackRock telling private clients to expect, quote, pivot language, quote unquote, pivot language in the next week's Fed statement, telling clients to prepare for one more 75 basis point hike followed by 2 smaller hikes, right? Exactly, you knew it was coming, guys. We talked about this right before summer started, guys. We talked about how the stock market and cryptocurrencies market shall bottom out, right? In that sole period, which was June 18th to July 15th, and it bottomed out right in the beginning of Seoul, guys, or right on it, right? I don't remember, but you guys can go ahead and check my thread if you guys need to. But which means the Fed should pivot towards, or I said it back then, I believe the Fed would have pivoted by the end of summer. It doesn't seem like they did, right? But they're starting to, guys, slowly but steadily. And here we go. We're not making any of this stuff up. I can assure you they want to delay it as long as possible so more people can suffer, which means people will now become sensitive to the problem, right? Which is then the reaction so they could bring in the solution. From Ripple, guys, quickly.
So I think it's important to get involved now because crypto's not going away. Web3 is happening 100%. And
there we go, guys. The train has left the station, right? Cryptocurrencies are not going away. None of this is going away, guys, because this is the new world we're living in the future right now. It's all happening right before our faces. The proof is in the pudding. How can people see? Right? Here we go, guys. Prepare. Not financial advice. But anyways, that's hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys please like, subscribe. Amazing day, and guys. See ya.